Welcome, everyone, to Women of Wisdom. Today we have Joanie Bolton, based out of Florida, and we landed up having her to share her incredible story. Now, this is my disclaimer that Joanie already knows about, and unfortunately, I have to do this disclaimer because of the subject matter we're talking about today. And for those of you who are going to see it on YouTube, I have to say that if you don't believe in God, please shy away from this interview because this book is about missionaries, it's about God, it's about everything else having to do with missionaries. And so I'm just going to pull the questions up here while we're thinking. Welcome, Joanie.
Well, thank you. Good to see you, Win.
Nice to see you too. And my first question is, why did God call you on doing these mission trips?
Well, after my husband retired in the Air Force for 23 years, he went on a mission trip with our son while he was a senior in high school. And once he was over there, he was in 3 countries, the Philippines, Cambodia, and Thailand. God got a hold of his heart that God could use anybody to go to the mission field and be an encouragement to those living overseas, to the missionaries that are serving far away from home, and to the scores, thousands of children in the public schools that are happy to welcome a visitor. And we bring puppets and videos, and we just enjoy every aspect of these trips.
Well, isn't that interesting that you're down there helping the less fortunate? I think that's fascinating, honestly, to help these kids who may not have everything known to man.
Right, right. You wouldn't believe some of the things we've seen. People that live in these little tiny shacks made of different materials right above water and sewage and raw sewage from, they don't have they don't have indoor restroom facilities or plumbing. We are very blessed
Well,
here in America.
that is a terrific segue, and to my next question: what has been the hardest, challenging part of doing these mission trips?
Well, we talked about this before. Physically, you and I have issues with our spine. I have steel rods from a spinal fusion and a ruptured disc where I'm not supposed to sit for very long, like 30
Oh.
minutes. And naturally, if you're taking 30 to 40 hours of flights, I'm
Yeah,
breaking those
yeah,
rules.
naturally, we're breaking those rules altogether, you and I both,
Yes,
because
and lifting limits. I'm breaking those all the time. But
I'm
once
probably
we,
breaking
yes, so
lifting limits myself, and but naturally, we are on this earth to help others, so we kind of
exactly.
have to put ourselves aside to do,
Yeah, so if you hurt a little bit, you see what the people are like over there, and if
yeah,
you could bring
yeah.
them, we went this last trip to the Philippines for 6 weeks, right before the super typhoon. We went to an orphanage and brought the children toys. And I tell you what, there was one little boy who was so shy. As soon as we came in, he ran into the back room and hid. But once we went in there and put a choo-choo train together, he came out of that shell and played. It
I
was wonderful.
bet. I could only imagine. I bet. Because most of um, these kids don't have the human contact that we are so used to in America.
Right.
Most of these kids don't have the human contact. So for them to see a nice, gentle person like you, like your husband Dale, like myself, they're just stunned beyond belief because God knows what happens after we leave those orphanages.
Right. Right.
And
You're
so
true.
my
Another, oh, go ahead.
my next question is, do you, why did you decide to write washing hands, washing?
Okay. Well, the reason I wrote the book with unwashed hands is because 2 years ago, while we were in a partially communist country, my husband's colon ruptured. And when we rushed him to the hospital, he was wearing his Air Force t shirt. When the doctor saw it, he decided to treat my husband as the enemy and prolong surgery for so many days he should have died.
Oh
It's a
my,
miracle he's alive. He turned green with sepsis, peritonitis,
oh
and
my
was at
God.
heaven's door and has a testimony of his near death experience. It's fascinating, brought me to tears, the reality of heaven. And then it took another doctor to come in and saved his life. But the title of the book is With Unwashed Hands because the doctor never one time wore gloves and never one time washed his hands while he touched Daryl's wounds. It's just a miracle he's alive. And then there was
Isn't
other things that happened while we were over there. I had the greatest loss a person could almost have halfway around the world, and there was nothing I could do. I couldn't leave Daryl's side. But God did so many amazing things for us, miracles actually, that I felt I had to write the book.
oh my God. Have they, now this is just my personal question, have they ever admitted to any of this
I'll
in,
say the doctor, we call him the bad doctor. When the good doctor saved his life and
yeah,
got better,
yeah.
and Daryl got better, the bad doctor came back right before we were to be discharged.
Oh boy.
And he said, I have a question for you. What did the Air Force do to your body? Because, and he's looking up and down Daryl's body, because your body, I don't understand it. It's like you're Superman. He came back, he called Daryl Superman 4 times, and he said he didn't understand it because he wouldn't die. It was a miracle he's alive. In fact, in the book, an MD and 3 RNs that have like 30 years experience said it's a miracle that Daryl's alive. It even baffled the bad doctor why he didn't die.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That's act that's absolutely amazing why this guy didn't die. And why they did what they did, when they why they did what they did when they decided to do it,
Right.
is absolutely,
Yeah. There was actually there was actually a military conflict between that country and the US while my husband laid in the bed. And it was a headline bold letters on a newspaper. And when that bad doctor saw it, he made sure we saw it for a ridiculous amount of time, and things even got a little bit
oh my
worse.
God.
Too graphic to tell you here. It's in the book, but
Oh my
too graphic
God.
to explain.
Oh my God. So you had to fight with doctors in a third world country to get your husband healthy.
Actually, when I wanted to fight, I couldn't
You
because
couldn't
this
because
doctor
you
was
didn't have
verbal.
the
He
energy
was
to fight.
Well, no, it was for my husband's life. If he was already putting down America with his mouth, I had to just be quiet and pray because if I made him any madder, I'd be afraid he'd just cut an artery in surgery. I had to trust God like I've never trusted him before.
I bet you did. I bet
Yeah.
you did. And I, God, this is going to make me cry. Now, you're going to see me cry on Skype, so I'll look the other way. But yeah, yeah. I know I'm only at the beginning of the book, but it's fascinating to me.
Yeah.
And so it's fascinating to me, and it's amazing that we got your husband home safe and sound. And this is an extra question for you. Does your did your husband have medical care after all this ordeal in the U.S.?
Yes. He actually, after the first two surgeries in the partially communist country, because the doctor touched him with unwashed hands, it caused him to almost die a second time when we were coming home. We had flown to Thailand and we were supposed to rest a few days before coming home. But that's another miracle in the story. It was the first time I went to Asia in that area. And if I wasn't there, he would have died in his sleep because my husband went to bed with an internal fevered infection that caused a third surgery in a third world country and led today to multiple hernias and a lifting limit of 20 pounds forever.
Oh my God. Oh my God. So he got an infection, they didn't take care of it.
Correct. And the
Oh my
doctor,
God.
that doctor, we love him. His name's Dr. Max. He told us the only reason you get an internal fevered infection, it burned a hole the size of his quarter inside his stomach lining sheath, is because of the dirty conditions in the first country. And of course, he was touching him with dirty hands.
Oh my God. Now, do they? I have a curiosity question for you, and then I'll move on um, to my other questions on the outline. Do they have medical protocol down there like we do in the U.S.?
Medical? Did you
Medical.
say?
I said medical protocol, as in let's
Oh,
wash your hands before you
yeah.
touch
I
people.
don't know because he would honestly win. He put down America's healthcare.
Oh my God.
And I'm thinking to myself, but I couldn't say it. At least we wash our hands.
Oh God. Oh God. So you were stuck. No pun intended. You were literally stuck
Yes,
in a position that you didn't want to be put in.
right. And at the
Jeez.
simultaneous time, I was going through an extremely emotional loss.
Yeah.
And that's where God gave us more grace than we ever imagined we could receive.
Yes. 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 And now, my second, um, my fifth question actually is what do you hope to inspire people with reading their book? I mean, talking to C.K. Webb about you, I automatically called you because I'm fascinated by this story. So that's my fifth question. What do you want people to automatically see when they read your book?
What I would like people to take away from our book is no matter where you are and no matter what grief you are bearing or situation you're in, that if you pray, God hears you. And during our time, people from many countries were praying for us. Our situation got out so far, strangers were contacting us. Churches we didn't know about were meeting to pray for us. It was
Oh
amazing.
my God.
And God did such miracles. I told somebody recently that I liken our story to It's a Wonderful Life. So many people were praying for George Bailey that God gave him Clarence the Angel.
Oh my God.
And so many people were praying for Daryl Bolton that God said, okay, it's time for a
Okay.
miracle.
Okay.
It's
It's time
time
for
for a
miracle.
miracle.
And that being said, this is my birthday present to you. And as as you know, on the phone, on our many phone call conversations, so many emails, I said to you, I want to donate to your ministry.
Oh,
But I am taking it one step further. When I publish the second version of I Win, 2, I Win is my bio, and I'm going to mention Unwashed Hands in that book, and
wow.
I'm going to make a point of having some of the proceeds go towards your ministry.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you very
Well,
much.
well, that because this story is now fascinating to me, and um, and it's just so fascinating to me, and I want to assist you guys where I can, even though I'm based here in Aspen, Colorado, and I just really want to assist you guys.
Thank you, Win. That was very generous of you. Thank you.
And so, where can people find out about you and find out about um, your book and find out about your ministry and all the incredible
Okay.
missionary work you're doing?
Okay. Well, the book has a website. It's called withunwashedhands.com, and you can find the book there. You could just, it'll have links to all the different e-versions, be it Kindle, Nook, or iBookshelf. And also you could order a signed copy or regular copy off of Amazon. And then what else? Oh, the name of our ministry is MVP Missions. And if you were to do a search on Google, you would be able to find it. I'm not sure of that ministry's email website. There is a website, but it's one of those Gmail accounts, and it's a little complicated. I don't know it by heart. I'm sorry. But if you were to do a Google search for MVP missions or MVP missionaries, you would be able to find it.
And is the Unwashed Hands website connected to the missionaries website?
Is it connected to what?
Is it connected to the missionaries website? Do you
No, but I
have a link to the missionary through the Unwashed Hands website, or
no, but I think we could probably do that fairly soon.
would you prefer people do a Google search on the on if they want to find out more about the missionary and more about the book?
Yes. Well, the website for the book has most of the information about our trip. It has a lot of pictures. It has videos. It has links that people in the press would like a question and answer. And it has what else? Oh, a lot of reviews. And there's a number of reviews on Amazon as well.
And I am, just for all my viewers out there, I am actually going to put the website in the YouTube um, in the YouTube caption, and then I'm actually going to put the Facebook page in
Oh, that's
the
great.
YouTube caption as well. So we
Yes.
have both. We have the Facebook page and we have the main website. So, and that's, and I will, when I put this video up, I will say if you want to find out more about NDP missions, you need to do a Google search because it's not attached to the book, but here's the book.
And I could email that to you later today, Win, the
Okay.
correct address. I
Okay.
just don't know. I don't have it memorized. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Cool. And so I appreciate your time on your birthday, and I appreciate everything you do. And I just want to help you guys and be a support and help those who need it.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very. You have a great night, Win.
I will. Thank you.
Bye bye.